Let's talk about how to get you a sponsor, because this is a really critical part of being an entrepreneur, is starting to realize that you don't have to use your own money for everything in your own business. When I learned this, it was an incredibly exciting moment and really elevated my confidence. Plus, the partnerships that you make along the way accelerate your brand's visibility. This relates to using your voice in a couple of different ways, because in some ways, this seems probably really far away and something that only big established companies and brands do, right? Those are the companies that are worth it for other businesses to invest in. And so you might be feeling a big block with using your voice. This video is going to help you understand that's not the case at all. You do not need to be a big business. You do not need to have a big brand to start partnering and getting sponsors for your events, for your workshops, for your upcoming course, for your podcast, whatever it is. You can start to get those sponsorships and money and support now. And that's a big part of using your voice, is raising your hand and approaching people and starting to talk about that partnership and what it looks like. I am going to be breaking down what my experience has been like and what I've been doing on the very small level to partner with other businesses. The other reason that this connects to your voice and will really help you think about the ways that you can creatively show up is because partnership will give you that confidence. And so the other part of this is that your voice should not ever be tethered to where you are now. A lot of your speaking hesitation and your lack of ability to sell and show up and make content is because you're really thinking about the state of your business now. And I need you to start thinking about the future. I need you to start visualizing and getting excited, like truly getting excited and worked up for what you know is going to happen. And as you visualize and feel that future state and get crazy delusional about it, you will start to be drawn toward that future faster and faster. And that comes through the decisions that you make on a daily basis. And it comes for that awakening of that CEO energy inside of you. So let me know if you have a clear vision of that future. And if you don't, I want you to check the show notes below, because there is literally a link there for you to get my voice in your ears, guiding you through an incredibly powerful guided meditation that will rewire the subconscious mind, literally shape the neurons in your brain. And if you listen to that over and over and over again, you will believe the future is here and now. If you're not clear on what the future looks like, you're going to be stuck here in this current moment. And this current moment does not have the skills. You do not have the talent yet. You do not have the knowledge yet. You do not have the guts yet to go and change this current moment. Otherwise, you would have done it already. So what this means is that you have to become your future self now. Now let's shift into how you're actually going to do this. Shout out to Avery. She just emailed me and she says that she wants to learn more about getting into business and public speaking. And she knows she definitely needs to work on her voice more. She is a womanist poet. She's an author. She's an entrepreneur. She's a new publishing success coach. Amazing. If you're any of those, let me know in the comments below. This video is for you, Avery, and this is for anyone who is like, hey, I need some money. I need it fast. My business needs to keep going. How do you get the money? Okay, you got your notebook, you got your pen. You're going to want to take notes on this, okay? You have to position this idea of partnering with you, because that's what sponsors are. Sponsors are in partnership with you. Okay. So I want you to think of this as we're locking arms, we are joining hands. This is a thing we're going to do together. And so the first thing you have to think about is what's in it for the other business. This isn't how do I make myself look like I'm good enough for them to invest with? No. Because that's already you putting yourself below someone and them high on the pedestal, and people are going to feel that energy and that's going to come across in your voice. So don't play that game. I want you to think about what's in it for them. Okay. So for example, one of my sponsors is the Mantra Box. And so what's in it for the Mantra Box is, first of all, I will advertise for them. I put their logo everywhere I can, especially in the workshops that they're actually sponsoring. They're on the graphics. and I tag them and I put them in my email, which has over a little over close to 400 people subscribed. And I also have given them a spot on my podcast. So what's in it for them is new exposure to my audience that I've worked very hard to curate. So this brings me to the next point. You want to be partnering with like-minded businesses. You want to make sure you pick a business in an industry, one, that you've shopped at and that you love their products, because you want it to feel good. You want this to be a good partnership. You want to know their brand values. You want to know their mission statement. You want to know their about page, read their about page, shop their products, because you are literally vouching for that business. And so with the Mantra Box, I've been a customer of theirs forever, and the box is so special. So I hire them to make custom boxes for all of my retreats. And I know those women personally. They've been, when I had the brick and mortar studio, they've been inside the studio before, right? They've set up pop-up shops. I've seen them in action. I've heard how they talk to people. They're very respectful. They're very fun. They're very professional. They're very polite. You get where I'm going? Make sure that if you have a partner that you're going to be putting their logo on your stuff, that you know them, like them, trust them. They're getting a bunch of new customers that you've already worked hard to get. Now, you might be like, well, Kim, what if I don't have an email list? What if I'm just getting started? Then what you might do is you might go to them and say, listen, I am willing to bring these 2 to 3 people in as customers. I've already talked to them. So maybe you've gone to friends and family and you've already told them, hey, I'm thinking of asking this company to come and partner with me, but I don't have a big email list. So would you want to shop from them ever? And which products would you like? Because imagine going to this company and saying, I don't have a big email list because I'm a new business, but I've just talked with 4 of my friends and they are all ready to go, ready to put your products in their carts now. You know, it's come to the table with what's in it for them. Do some legwork that they don't want to do. Volunteer to work at one of their events coming up. All right. Now let's talk about the actual setup of this. How do you talk to and present this? So one thing I told Avery in the email that I got back to her was like, listen, I've already known the Mantra Box for years. So it was a really simple communication. So think about, who do you already shop from a lot? Who do you love? What brands are you obsessed with? And are they local businesses just like you? Because the chances of you getting sponsored and having a partnership with a local grassroots company, mom and pop shop, just like you, are so much greater than you going after like the key bank down the road. Because what you're saying is, I believe in you and I know you believe in me. So let's shout that from the rooftops and share our logos and share our resources. So what you want to do is you want to come to the table with some sort of package. Okay. So what that looks like is you're going to simply get out a Google document and you're going to write up exactly what your brand and business is about, how you see you guys partnering, and paint the picture of the future, why it's a really good idea for them to invest in you and why you believe in them and what's in it for them. Then you're going to want to have tiers, pricing tiers. And these are like door number 1, door number 2, door number 3. They can read through these pricing packages or tiers and decide how much they want to invest. Usually the more that they will spend, the more investment they want to give you money, right? Because they will be giving you money. That's what you're asking for. I need X number of dollars to make this event possible. Would you be willing to sponsor? The first level is $50. And then you list, what do they get? What are they buying essentially for $50? The second tier might be $150. And then list, what are they getting? What are they buying for $150? And obviously you make it a lot more special than the $50. And then there's the top tier, which is like $500 maybe. And again, under that $500, what do they get? The higher they spend, the more you want to give them, the more visibility. It's important to have those solid. And typically, if you give them 3 tiers, typically people choose the middle. That's just pricing psychology. And I gave Mantra Box an idea of the entire event that I wanted to do. So this is the other thing that's going to be in your proposal. Here's why I need your money. Here's why our partnership, here's what your money is going to be going for. I wanted someone to buy the food. So they ended up choosing the $50 package, which was perfect because $50 got me a sub tray, two sides, like a potato salad, and then like some other salad. It allowed me to get like some Fig Newton bars, some variety of like popcorns, and then some really nice drinks that were in the cooler. Went to the local grocery store online, or I think I went to Price Chopper, and I got their catering packet, and I asked the person, what's the cheapest sub tray? How much is this going to cost me? Okay, so know your numbers. Go and do the research. How much money do you think you're going to need to do what you want? And that's going to give you the number of that person, that company, what they need to give you. Okay. So you need to do the legwork. You need to figure out how much money all that's going to be, and then tell them, you're going to be our official food sponsor, and here's what I'm thinking of getting. You can work with your sponsor in partnership to truly partner. And this is where it gets to become very fun for you. Now your event has a partner who's invested. And now you guys together get to level up your experience. And so here's the cool thing. Once they PayPal or Venmo me the money, you have to make sure you save that in a special savings account, because come the day of the event, you need to have that sponsor's money there, because that's integrity, right? So I want you to think about creating in your bank account a separate account that's just for the events and just for sponsor money. You cannot touch that because you need it that day, right? I know that seems obvious, but sometimes we don't think about all the little things behind the scenes, okay? After that day is done, you want to send out an email thanking everyone for coming and giving a link to that sponsor's website, maybe their Instagram page, wherever they want you to have your customers sent. And perhaps there's even some follow-up like coupon, right? You could additionally ask your sponsor, would you be willing to do anything special, give something away? Those are all fun conversations you could be having. So I jumped ahead a little bit there, right? But before any of that, the advertising, this is another part of your proposal to your sponsor that you want to have in there, is how much are you willing to do? List that out. And again, it should go up more. You should be willing to do more and more work for more money that they give you. That makes sense. So for the $50 tier, I was willing to do one email with their story in there, right? So this wasn't even about the event coming up. This was me saying a word for our sponsors, basically, right? And I just like give the floor to them, link to them, etc. Logo in there, just celebrating them. Then I gave them 1 30-minute spot on my podcast. So now you're working together, right? That's the whole point of this, is if people, it's not just give me money and bye, see ya. It's yeah, give me money, but let's partner. Let's drum up the excitement. And that's really what you need to know here. When you partner with someone, you've got someone else who's invested in your vision. And the more people that are invested in your vision, not just with their dollars, but with their mind and their heart and their time and their email list and their voice, the bigger and the more successful your event or your book launch or your brick and mortar store opening up or your podcast launch, whatever it is you're trying to get sponsorship for, the more successful it will be. Because a lot of business owners, small business owners like you and I, are more than happy to partner if the brand is right, if the energy is right, and if you're willing to just expose them to a greater audience or a different audience than they have. I hope this helps. Do you have any questions? Let me know what I can clarify for you in the chat below. Just drop your question there. I'm happy to make another video if there's anything I said that you want more explanation about. I'm happy to brainstorm and give you the ideas if I've experienced it, right? I'm only teaching you what I've done and what I know. So I'm so excited for you. Let me know, what is the experience that you're going to be hosting coming up where you are going to need a sponsor? Is it a book launch? Are you launching a new podcast? Let me know in the comments. I love to just cheer you on and give you additional ideas, guys. I'll see you in the next video.